All right, let's talk about Maxx Crosby, the edge rusher for the Raiders, who really doesn't get enough attention, I don't think. Obviously, we talk about him as a great player, but do we really talk about him as one of the greats? Well, let's get into what I like about him so much, and let's start off with this play. It's going to be, an interesting play to, I think, showcase his talents. There's probably more, I would say, just straight up him beating tackle type plays later on in this video, but for now, I think this is kind of an interesting one because it's going to be a stunt. So 99 for the Raiders. He's going to be running, he's the interior defensive lineman. He's going to be running sort of towards the right guard's right side of his body. So closer towards the left side of the screen of the right guard. The whole point in doing this is that you get the guard to move in, and then Crosby is going to kind of run around, and hopefully the guard is focused on the interior defensive lineman. There's a window for Crosby to try to get to the quarterback. Right when this play begins, that part's working out great. I mean, and it also helps because you never know exactly where the center is going to go, but the center has moved over towards the offense's left, which is towards the right side of the screen, meaning that at this point, Crosby does have a straight shot to get to the quarterback, Russell Wilson. The obvious, thing that could go wrong here is the guard notices it and gets over to block Crosby, but then the interior defensive lineman would get to Wilson. So either way, guard kind of doing what he can do at this point, but the tackle could at least slow down Crosby. It's a good situation, but this is where the hands of Crosby really come into play, where he has his right hand already on that sort of left shoulder pad of the right tackle who he's going up against, but watch what Crosby does with his own left hand. This is actually, I think, the interesting part here. Watch him get it over that left-handed tackle, and then he's able to get to the quarterback and get the sack. It's just so quick, but that little thing, I think, just made it a little bit quicker for him to get to the quarterback. I'll be honest, I think if he didn't do this very well, he still probably could have gotten a sack on this play. It was a good situation, and, football's a team sport at the end of the day, but I did think that he did some stuff to help, also show off what he can do, even if he was in a good situation. Moving on to this one. So what's going to happen here is this time he's going to, still be on the left side of the screen, going up against a tight end here. So this is the way this play is designed to work is what you're actually hoping to happen is that the tight end kind of starts off blocking Crosby, but then runs a route, and nobody else is supposed to block Crosby, which might seem like a bad idea, but since it's going to be a play action towards the offense's right, and Wilson runs over to the right side of the screen, and then Wilson runs over to the left side of the screen, that's the way that he could potentially, fool Crosby. Crosby, plays the run, and then Wilson runs past Crosby and has room over there. These types of plays typically work out, and a lot of times you won't even have anyone blocking Crosby. So the tight end blocking him is actually a little bit more attention than you typically give on this kind of play. So a couple of things to note. First, we're going to just start off showing what Crosby does to the tight end. Watch what happens here. Watch him really immediately get around the tight end in that position, which, in a weird way, might have actually hurt Denver having a tight end on Crosby because it kind of slowed him down and allowed him to read the play a little bit better. Although, again, they're trying to pay him extra attention, and Crosby happened to just get past the tight end immediately, so I don't really know if it's fair to blame the decision there. I'm sure Sean Payton would blame the coaching staff on that one, but still, at this point, Crosby looks up and he reads the situation. He is aware of what's happening. So watch him get over, and he is going to make an immediate tackle on Russell Wilson. He gets the sack right there. Again, could you argue this is a good situation? Sure, but every edge rusher has a good amount of these types of plays. It's up to the best edge rushers to take advantage of those situations and find ways to succeed, which is what he was able to do on that play. Also going over to something like this, let's just talk about him going up one-on-one against tackles, though. This is Andrew Wiley, who, listen, isn't known for being a superstar right tackle or anything like that, but he's a fine player. I mean, he's not a disaster. He's above replacement level, I should say. He's just not a very good tackle. He's kind of is he a top 50 tackle in the NFL? Probably not, but he's probably top 64 tackle in the NFL, kind of how I view it. Anyway, right when this play begins, Crosby's going to do something very fascinating here, where he's, starting off, this doesn't seem that crazy. And in fact, I think Wiley probably feels pretty good about his current hand placement right now, and just where he's currently at, because, he's far enough over to be able to make this block on Crosby. But watch Crosby pull off this spin move, and then he is able to get over to Patrick Mahomes and gets a sack there. He was wrapped into grasp, so they called it there. Again, just really good stuff from Maxx Crosby. And the spin move, people talk about, a lot of offensive linemen will tell you, if someone has a good spin move, it's the most unblockable move there is. I mean, it's so difficult to stop that kind of thing, and that's what Crosby is capable of doing. And he's also just capable of doing stuff like this, where what's going to happen on this play is it's going to be a one-on-one matchup with the tackle once again, and he's going to use his power here. Because I feel like with Crosby, he gets a lot of attention with his sort of being a technician, for him having so many different moves in his arsenal, and that is definitely very exciting. But he can also just do stuff like this. I mean, watch him really just shove Wiley further back, and then he's able to get to the quarterback for a sack. That was incredible. That's just really good stuff from Maxx Crosby, and these are the kind of things that I feel like he can do consistently. And again, everyone talks about these sort of, his hands, which deserve to be talked about. They are very good, but he is still a great athlete on top of it. He is the complete package, which to play at his level, you certainly have to be. So how good exactly is Maxx Crosby? He's obviously really good. I mean, we all know that. That's not even really a discussion. We all know Maxx Crosby is great. I do wonder if he would get a bit more credit if he played for a different team, if he played for, a team that gets more attention. Not that the Raiders get no attention. I give them plenty of attention here on this channel, of course. But, they're not, they haven't made the playoffs in a while. Well, they made the playoffs 2 years ago, but other than that, they haven't been making the playoffs in a while. They haven't won a playoff game in over 20 years at this point. So that obviously factors into maybe him not getting the credit he's due, and also he wasn't a super hyped up college prospect or anything. But at the end of the day, all that matters is how good you are right now, and he definitely can do so many different things. And the one thing I also like about Crosby that I haven't mentioned yet is how he just consistently gets better year after year. He's someone who, every year he's been in the league, he's become a more complete player each year. And so because of that, you kind of have to view him as a guy who could continue to get better, and you have to take that as a positive as well, compared to someone who maybe is on the same caliber of him, who, I think maybe you don't know if they're going to get better or not. So for me, I don't know if I'd quite put Crosby in that, like, the same tier as a Myles Garrett and TJ Watt, but he's like one tier below them, of the elite guys who maybe aren't the best in the league, but are right next to the best in the league is kind of how I view him. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.